Muy buenas tardes a todos los que se van conectando a esta sesión informativa de Colfuturo con la Universidad de Waikato en Nueva Zelanda. Sean bienvenidos y gracias por participar. Mi nombre es Lady Velázquez, hago parte del equipo de Consejería Académica y estaré con ustedes en esta sesión donde hablaremos sobre este convenio que tiene Colfuturo para que puedan hacer su programa de posgrado en la Universidad de Waikato en Nueva Zelanda. Así que vamos a hablar sobre la oferta académica, el proceso de admisión, toda esa información que ustedes necesitan conocer para que en este caso puedan empezar su aplicación. Cabe mencionar que toda esta semana vamos a estar con nuestros partners de universidades de este país, así que si ustedes definitivamente están interesados en estudiar su posgrado en Nueva Zelanda, los invito a que también asistan a los demás webinars que vamos a hacer con otros convenios de este mismo país. Así que de nuevo, gracias. Le doy acá la presentación a Simon, él es representante de la universidad y quien nos va a compartir esa información de utilidad. Aprovechen el espacio de Q&A, ya que al final vamos a responder cada una de las preguntas que ustedes manden en este espacio. So, thank you so much, Simon, for being here, and you can go ahead and start your presentation.
Uh, to be here today. I presume it's 5 p.m. in Colombia, so it's the morning of the day after here in New Zealand. So it's great to have the opportunity to come and speak to you today about the University of Waikato and why we think this is a great opportunity for you for your study overseas. So my name, yes, is Simon Duffy. I am the Regional Engagement Lead for South America. This event is taking place at a very good time. I'm very excited to be visiting Colombia in September and then onwards to Brazil as well. So my first time to Colombia, I'm really looking forward to it and to meeting many people when I'm visiting. So I can give my details towards the end of this and hopefully I'll be able to see some of you in person. So what I would like to go over in this webinar today is I thought I would give a brief introduction to New Zealand and why we think it is a destination of choice for international students. I will talk about where our campus is located in New Zealand. So we have two campuses in Hamilton and Tauranga. And also going into detail about our university, the rankings, our reputation, our excellent facilities, and our different schools and faculties as well. Before moving on to our partnership with COLFUTURO and the scholarship available to you for our master's and PhD programs, before moving on to discussing briefly our partnerships with research, the application process, course information and accommodation options as well. So I will try and move through it to give enough time as possible for the Q&A session towards the end. So firstly, I think quite a general overview. Why choose New Zealand? So first of all, for the quality of education, all of New Zealand's universities, which is quite an impressive statistic, are ranked in the top 250 in the whole world. So we have 8 universities in New Zealand. So we're a small country, but we punch above our weight, as we would say, in our global reputation for quality education. I think a very important one to also mention for if you're thinking of studying overseas is safety. And New Zealand is one of the most peaceful and safe countries in the world. So we're 4th most peaceful according to the 2023 Global Peace Index. And you will notice that if you do come and decide to study and live here. And lifestyle welcoming community. There is a really fantastic work and life sort of balance here in New Zealand. New Zealanders are incredibly welcoming of international students and new arrivals. Me, myself, maybe you can tell by the accent, I'm originally from the United Kingdom and I moved here to work at the university last year. And Kiwis, as New Zealanders are affectionately called, are very welcoming and have made me feel at home very quickly. So you will notice that sort of really healthy lifestyle and that ability to build friendships and relationships quite quickly. And also employability as well. So you might have seen or been when you're doing your research, there's a lot of sort of new restrictions coming into play in different countries for international students. New Zealand currently has a very generous post-study work right. So you'll come, if you do a master's program in particular, you can get up to 3 years post-study work and bring dependents and children along with you as well. And also the economy in New Zealand, unemployment's around 4%. So it's it's a small number compared to other countries with a high minimum wage and overall quality of life. So in a nutshell, really, New Zealand, it's really somewhere to seriously consider. Also, with some changes to student visa applications that we've seen in Australia and other places, New Zealand the student visa is around $250 to apply for. So again, very sort of cost effective. But they're sort of the general overviews that I would say of New Zealand. So I thought I would just go then into some sort of give you an idea geographically of where we are located. So that's a map of Aotearoa, New Zealand. So Aotearoa, you might know that name. It is the Maori name for New Zealand. So we're kind of as a dual and we're a bilingual country here. And so Hamilton, you'll see, is kind of located in a golden triangle. So you are close to so many different attractions, major cities. We're an hour and a half away from Auckland, so you can get the buzz of the big city, but also we've got the fantastic beauty and scenery of the local area. We've got the Hamilton Gardens, which is world famous, which is just literally down the road here from campus that you have free access to, and you can kind of have a nice walk around. But that gives an overview of our campuses there. So moving into Hamilton. So Hamilton is the fastest growing urban area. We are scheduled to overtake Wellington, the capital city, in around 10 years or 15 years time for population. So it's an incredibly exciting time to be here. It's very multicultural, it's very dynamic, with close to 200,000 people now living here. We're known for our gourmet eateries, colourful street art, and it's also importantly, again, for international students, it's affordable. So for cost of living in comparison to other major New Zealand cities, such as Auckland, Christchurch, Wellington, you have a lower cost, whether it be for accommodation, for food, entertainment, and that sort of thing. So that's a really good draw for us. I was mentioning on the previous slide, central location. We're close to a lot of famous attractions. For those of you who have watched or are a fan of The Lord of the Rings, we are literally half an hour from Hobbiton. So I'm sure a lot of our international students love to go up there and visit, and we arrange free trips up there for when you start to your studies. We have just had our B trimester intake here at the Hamilton campus. So hundreds of new international students have been flying in the last 2 weeks to join us. And there is a trip next week up to Hobbiton. So lots of activities there. On campus, we are a real sort of concentrated campus. Everything's in walking distance. You're not spread out on a really lush, lots of lakes and open trees and that sort of forest area. So it's a really sort of easy way to kind of walk around. You don't need to use public transport or anything. And we've got cafes, restaurants, coffee shops, all on campus as well. And obviously, yeah, a large campus there, 65 hectares. So, and that's an image of the river and of Hamilton there on the left-hand side. I wanted to also just put in some images now, because I think it's important for you, although this is virtual, to kind of get a feel for our campus and if you were to study here with us. That's a image of the PAR. So that's our new kind of student hub. It is brand new. It only opened last year. It's won already numerous architectural awards, and it is an absolutely fantastic building. It is a kind of tribute to our Maori culture and design that you'll see there. So it's where students can congregate, meet friends, study, have a coffee, and it is a truly remarkable building. And that's also another picture of our Hamilton campus there from the lake area. And there's lots of restaurants and bars and that down near our central hub. That's just another image of Hamilton. We have some major festivals that take place every year. So this is the balloon festival that takes place in April. So it's quite an exciting time to be here for that. Obviously, again, numerous cultural events taking place. And of course, if you're coming down to New Zealand, you think of Australia when you want to go surfing, but New Zealand also has some quite competitive beaches as well, if you're into that. So now quickly moving on, we also have our second campus of Tauranga. So that is in the north of the North Island here in New Zealand on the beach. It is a stunning coastal town. It's a holiday place for lots of New Zealanders to go up there, especially in the summer when it's nice and warm. And our campus there is relatively new. It opened only just before the pandemic, opened in 2018. And that's a picture of the main building there. So again, we're very striking, state-of-the-art facilities, and in the centre, real downtown core of Tauranga as well. So you're close by to all facilities and conveniences. So a bit more there on Tauranga. It's the fifth largest city in New Zealand, home to amazing beaches, and it's only 1 hour, 15-minute drive from Hamilton. Don't worry as well. The good thing is we are connected. We have a free shuttle service that runs between the two campuses. So you as a student will be able to go between the two as much as you want, completely free of charge. And capacity around for 1,500 students there. Just some areas of study, obviously, given it's on the coast, marine sciences are obviously very strong there. We've got some fantastic facilities, and social sciences, arts, and business as well. So importantly for this webinar with COLFUTURO, so the scholarships that are available, we have a very lucrative sort of relationship or partnership with COLFUTURO. So if you're interested in studying a master's program with us, whether it be 120, 180, or 220 points, as we call it, you can avail a 30% discount on your tuition fees. And that is either by a coursework, master coursework, or a PhD as well. Obviously, on the PhD is 100% tuition fee waiver, maximum of 4 years. And a big draw, if you were considering PhD, is that students who meet the requirements are able to cover or charged under domestic student, which is saving thousands of dollars. So they're the key sort of discounts there as well. Also, as well, my trip upwards to Colombia, the university is really engaging with South America now. And so I will be open as well to any additional kind of support that we can give to entice students to choose us. So quickly, just going on to rankings and reputation, very important when you are deciding where you want to study. So we have had a really good running of global rankings. We keep increasing our stats, and we are, as of last month, in the latest QS World University Rankings 2025, and we are in the top 235 in the whole world. So, out of 1,400 universities, it's a really good testament. We also take pride in our Waikato Management School, which I'll go on to a bit shortly, where we have a triple crown status. So we are accredited by, by these large global credit agencies, and we are in the top 1% of the world's business schools. So to be accredited by all three, the AAC, SB, and the others is, it's quite difficult to achieve that, and we do. So we're number one, we're in the top 1% of the world's business schools. And we are second ranked university for New Zealand in business. And importantly, if you're considering research or you're considering doing a PhD with us, we are number one in New Zealand for research as well. If you're, I think like a lot of us are, we're quite conscious at the moment of the environment, of the climate emergency. We are also out of more than 5,600 institutions ranked. We're in the top 100 around the world for sustainability. So there are some quite good achievements for us. So I'll quickly go over this. I don't want to take up too much. I want to get onto the qualifications that we have. So a bit about us. We've got over 13,000 students. Our international cohort keeps growing year by year. We're just seeing some huge increases in students coming through for us this year. And we've got lots of dedicated academic support, pastoral care, and different departments to support our international students. I've got a link through to our various faculties shortly, but on the facilities, we have taken our place in history a little bit for New Zealand, and we had the first ever, believe it or not, first ever New Zealand internet connection was established here at the University of Waikato. So long time ago, but we were the very first sort of building to receive internet. Obviously, we've got the largest supercomputer is based here, the first AI institute, and New Zealand's first cybersecurity lab. We've got purpose-built concert chambers, performance spaces, and also, and this is particularly for our Tauranga campus, when it comes to sports, we are the training facility of New Zealand's Olympic athletes, also some of the All Blacks, if you follow rugby, at our Waikato Adams Centre for High Performance. That's based in our Tauranga campus. So some fantastic facilities there if you are quite sporty or athletic. And the cost, studying in New Zealand is cheaper than many other countries, especially if you're looking at the United States or you're looking at Australia. New Zealand is, along with these sort of bursaries and discounts that you'll be receiving, it is very competitive. And just back as well to the visas, as a student, of course, again, you can work part-time, up to 20 hours a week, and minimum wage here is really high. It's around $24 an hour. So, you know, it's all these things kind of really support your studies here. So there are a list of, I won't go through all of them, but they are a list of our different faculties and schools of study. So you'll see, you know, we really do cover all the major sort of areas, whether it be law, health, science, education, and of course our Faculty of Maori and Indigenous Studies, which is really important here in New Zealand. So, you know, there's lots more that I'm sure you can kind of do some independent research on our website, or of course you can forward me any questions. We take a lot of pride here at Waikato in preparing our graduates and our students for the workplace. We know that you are investing in your future, on where you see yourself going career-wise or professional development. And so when you look at a variety of our qualifications, we have integrated internships. We've got some fantastic industry relations with some of New Zealand's top businesses. And we were always really, our teaching style encourages to think critically, to kind of think with that professional mindset. And we have some, like I said, so our alumni have gone on to do some fantastic jobs, both in New Zealand and in their home countries. And like I said, there at the bottom there, there's lots of work placements, industry projects, and we have events. We've got a dedicated international student career center. So they will help you, whether it's preparing your CV, how to use LinkedIn, getting you interview ready for New Zealand. There's a whole wealth of free services for international students to ensure that upon your graduation, you're ready to hit the professional world. And then I'll just kind of skim over this. Obviously, for research, for PhD in particular, we are partnered with numerous research institutes across both the Waikato region and New Zealand there. So there's a few on the screen for you. So moving on then to application process. So I'll start with the master's. Relatively easy. It does not take very long to apply for your master's, just to apply online via our application portal. And you will need a recognised bachelor's degree with BB. For English language, we do have a general requirement of an IELTS of 6.5 or equivalent. Something quite exciting, and I'm extending it to our students who are thinking about applying from Colombia, is that we also accept Duolingo. And we'll be offering as well, if you want to apply to us, we can waiver the English test charge as well. Just make sure that you speak to me and I will ensure that is passed on. So we accept a variety of English language sort of assessments that's available on our website. And of course, Duolingo is part of that, and not many of the universities accept it. So I think that's quite a positive as well. And with the PhD, the big difference here is obviously you can start any time. The application process, what you need to do is reach out and get a supervisor ahead of application. So a supervisor will then invite you to apply. So what you can do is use our website to search for your area of specialization. And you can also search a list of available members of staff who can supervise you. And then you can go and kind of contact them directly. And then should they wish to proceed, you'll be officially invited to apply. So they're obviously quite different in the application process, but they're the kind of the overviews. Of course, each qualification, in particular for masters, it will vary, of course. And so if you can just obviously just check on our website under the specific degree that you or master that you want to take, want to apply for. But in general, our bachelor's degree, entry level and English is around the same across the university. So I just want to go quickly onto the Waikato Management School. This is our most popular division, as it's called here, for our international students, and just talk about some of the our most popular and famous qualifications. So the first one I'm going to go over is Master of Business and Management, or MBM as it's called. And this is a 12-month master's program. As I said earlier, Triple Crown accredited, so you're coming from a very respectable business school. I think what's very popular for international students is it includes a consultancy project with local business. So this, again, allows you to build up that network, that knowledge of working, whether here in New Zealand or putting all of your knowledge and your learning into a practical setting. And it's designed for graduates coming from any discipline. So it doesn't matter what your background is, you'll be assessed and you will be able to succeed in this qualification. We have 3 intakes as well. So you have time if you're interested to apply in November. But March, July, and November are our key intakes. And the fee there, I'm trying to help with everyone because I know New Zealand dollars probably isn't very well known, or the exchange rate. So I've given a rough exchange rate to US dollars there for the fee. And remember, that is before the discount in tuition via COLFUTURO is applied. So, very attractive there for the cost. And just some of the careers, really makes competent leaders, good communicators, and really helps with a comprehensive understanding of the business environment. Moving on then to another popular one is the Master of Digital Business. Again, 12 months, and focuses on using technology from a management perspective. Obviously, the digital age that we are in now, so this is very relevant for numerous businesses. You will need a slight difference to MBM. Entry details come from a relevant background, so whether it's commerce, business, management, IT. And similar, there are 3 intakes a year. The tuition there again before the COLFUTURO discount as well. And then, Master of Management. So again, a 12-month project in supply chain management is one of our most popular ones. We have 2 intakes in February or July, high impact applied project. So this is where you're going to work with some of our biggest companies in New Zealand and kind of have work integrated learning. So that's going to count towards the outcome of your master's and industry work placements. What that does is, again, it establishes connections with industry, and it can often lead to a place of employment post completion. And similar there, entry requirements, tuition fees, as you'll see now, they're relatively similar. And then finally, I think this is the last one, is Master of Information Technology. So this is a 10-week compulsory, well, it has a 10-week compulsory paid internship, and students, it's paid as well. So students can secure the amount on the screen there. So again, this is obviously very popular for international students. The length, it can be between 1 and 1.5 years. Or it depends on if you have computer background or not. And it's a qualification jointly awarded with the University of Auckland, which is the top rank. They're just above us, top ranked university in New Zealand, and some entry requirements there as well. So I'm nearing the end. I know we're approaching half an hour now. So I just wanted to give just a bit more background on sort of the accommodation. So we have a variety of accommodation available to students, both what's called on campus and off. So this is going to cover what we have in halls of residence. So we've both got catered and self-catered there. So a bit of an overview of what to expect. Again, they are right on the heart of campus. They are 5-10 minutes from your classrooms. So this is an option as well, very social, and it's a good way of kind of, cementing friendships and sort of groups on campus. So for international, often self-catered is quite popular, of course, so you can be independent to make your own food. But I've put some costs, again, I've converted those into US dollars. So that's kind of a quick overview there of accommodation. And then obviously that is on campus, but students are perfectly able to live off campus. We have homestay, which is also quite popular, where you get to live with a Kiwi family and learn about the local culture, and the family kind of takes care of you and takes you on trips and cooks dinner and food for you, or general flatting or renting as well. Obviously, with these prices, we're just taking real estimates there. But as I mentioned earlier, Hamilton and Tauranga are much cheaper to live in than if you were to go to one of the other kind of bigger cities. We've got our very friendly team in the accommodation that'll be more than happy to help with any inquiries. So that is the University of Waikato in a nutshell. So obviously some contact details are up there on screen. We've got our different social media channels as well, and I can pop in my personal email address into the chat function during the Q&A. But thank you very much for listening. Hopefully I didn't speak too quickly. I am quite notorious at doing that. So lady, hopefully that was all right. But yes, thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, so thank you, Simon, for all the information. So we're going to go ahead with the questions. So let me just read it to you. We're going to start with Mauricio. He's asking, is there any IT project management program available?
IT project management. So we do have, so within some of the big business qualifications, there are numerous papers that you can select, and IT is kind of a focus area with that. What I would say is if you can, I can look into more of the qualifications around whether it's information technology. It's probably going to be a good one for him, because you can kind of tweak, as we call it, the qualifications to select sort of specializations within those degrees. They're all available on the website. So if you go on, let's say, to Master of Information Technology, you can see all the different paper selections that you can take. So that is an option. But yes, I would be happy to obviously speak with him if he wanted to go through options. But there will be different paper selections that he can take within that area.
Good, thank you. Then we're going to go with Paula. The question is, if I'm interested in the integration of ecology with artificial intelligence or the investigation of bioindicators in environmental conservation, can I find a master's degree on these topics?
You can, yes. So again, so these are obviously very niche specializations, but all of those key areas we do cover here at the university. So again, it would mean me discussing it with the different divisions, and I think that would probably fall under our science faculty. So that is possible, and I'm more than happy again to kind of speak on a one-to-one basis with that student. But all those key areas, we do specialize in the sciences, both here in Hamilton and in Tauranga, but that is definitely possible, yes.
We're going to go with Ana Maria. She's saying, where could I find information about the detail of the programs that the university offers?
Yeah, so just on our website. So does she have an area of that she was thinking of? Because yes, if you go on, search our website, all of our degrees, our masters, everything is available there, including all of the different papers and what's covered. Yeah.
Thank you. Next is Chris' question. Are we available to go with our families?
Yes, you are. Yes. So just with the student visas, you, first of all, you can obviously get a visa for the entire study period. And then upon completion, you will be eligible for post-study work rights as well. You can bring your dependents, you can bring children, your spouses. They will have to apply for a separate visa, but it will be attached to you. So absolutely, a lot of our international students, they come with their families.
Next one, we have Angela. I'd like to know whether you have Master of Arts and Cultural Management or a similar master.
We have, so our Master of Arts is very popular and we have many specializations within the Master of Arts. So yes, I can certainly, I have actually a very close colleague, Ms. Sue Carnaby, who will be more than happy to assist with that. But yes, our Master of Arts is incredibly popular, and I would encourage you to either check out the degree and the specializations on the website, or again, more than happy. So I said I was going to put my details in, ladies. Sorry, I'll put my.
Yeah.
Is there a chat box? Where is it? Yes, it is. Sorry, guys. Just putting in my email, so please feel free, everyone. But I'm sure, lady, you can forward me anything as well. There you go.
Yeah, I can see it is in the chat. Yeah. And next question is Edwin. He's asking, can the MBA postgraduate degree also be used for the architecture and construction industry?
Yes, it can. So the MBA is a very versatile qualification. So it's really trying to focus you for leadership, for that sort of management perspective. So we find a lot of students that come into this qualification, they come from, and that is why we don't ask for a specific background, because we have a complete variety of different areas of business coming through to do this qualification. So absolutely, with architecture, it's it is just setting you up there for that leadership aspect.
And then I have two questions from social media. So the first one is about how to contact a supervisor for a PhD program. So if you can give us some advice of how to contact a supervisor.
Yes. So what I can do is I can try and help assist with that. Obviously, given the change of the application process that I mentioned on a previous slide, once you know your area of research and your specialization, if you go onto the PhD page on the website, which I can try and get up, you can then search available academics and staff members and their speciality, and see if it matches. And then you can contact them directly and kind of just give an overview of who you are, your skills, and then the academic will then invite you formally to apply. So that's how it's a bit different to applying for our master's program, is you will be formally invited. So if you are struggling to get any responses, please contact me and I can go down and see if I can escalate that any further.
Thank you. And the second question is, if I want to apply for a program, but I don't have the English requirement, what can I do? Do I have to wait till I have the requirement? Or maybe I can start the application without this requirement?
Yes, you can start the application. What will happen is you'll be given a conditional offer based on your English language skills. So that's absolutely fine. If you wanted to apply, say, for a trimester in February 2025, you can apply now, and then you'll be given that conditional offer, and you have time to sit examination or to do any sort of further study. We also have the Waikato College, which does short, intense English courses as well. And that could be a pathway into taking your master's with us at the university. So that can run for three months and get you up to, it's called academic English, ready for your master's program. But absolutely, if you want to study in Colombia, and then you can apply and you'll be given a conditional offer still.
Good. Then I have Angela's question. She's saying, is it possible to obtain a graduate visa at the end of the program?
Yes, it is. So New Zealand's very popular and generous with that. So what students will get at the end of, if I talk for a master's program, you will get a 3-year work visa with hope to extend once you're in a job. You can bring, you have a dependent that can come on a work visa with you for that. but it is very popular. So it's called post-study work rights. And upon completion of your master's program, yes, you will be eligible for that up to 3 years.
And then we have Dana's question. Is an industrial engineering degree enough for the requirement to enter a master program, at least to start the process?
Sorry, lady, can you repeat that?
Yeah, she says that she has an industrial engineering degree, undergraduate degree. So she wants to know if that's enough to apply for the program, for a master program.
If it's a bachelor degree,
Yeah,
then yes,
that's a bachelor.
yep, it is. Yep, no, so that should be fine. That should give you eligibility for masters. So again, I'll be happy to look through that. But in general, yeah, that would give you the entry for masters.
And next we have Mauricio. He has 2 questions. So the first one is, if the 6.5 IELTS isn't reached, can we do a pathway?
Absolutely. Yes, you can. So we do have via the college, we've got those pathway courses. And we've got also different qualifications which have like graduate diplomas or postgraduate diplomas as well that have quite slightly lower English language requirements. But there are ways for us to kind of support you around that IELTS requirement.
And the second question says that you mentioned something about the Duolingo certificate. So they want to know if that's if they can prove the English level with that exam.
Yes, absolutely. So we are the only university in New Zealand which accepts Duolingo for your English language assessment. The exact entry is available on the website under our entry requirements under English. But I mentioned earlier that kind of try and support students from Colombia to join. The English test fee can be waived. So I'll be happy to do that. So you can sit your English test via Duolingo for free if you message me, and I can add that for you, and we will accept that for entry to study.
Thanks. And the last question is Paula's. She's saying, to enter the masters, can I present an IELTS? What band should I stay in?
So if they want to apply for a master's, can they present an IELTS?
Yeah, she wants to know like what's the score that she should have.
Yep. So it slightly varies depending on what degree you want, but it's normally 6.5 or equivalent.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was checking just social media, and I just have 2 questions more. I'm sorry. I guess
No,
we have more questions.
More questions.
Well, the question that I have here is about the same topic, that is the English level. So they want to know if you can give us the cost of these courses. So maybe if you can give us an estimated.
Oh, right. Okay. So I won't be able to give that right now. So on the college, yes, I would need a bit. Sorry, lady, I need a bit of time on that because
Yeah, no worry.
the college kind of sits outside of our sort of area. So you're testing me there. I like it, but I will. I can find out. So yeah, I'll have to do that. If I can get the student details, I'll be able to forward the costs, and then I can give them exact costs. I don't want to give any misleading information.
But maybe the information is on the same web page, right? So maybe they can go just there and find the information.
Absolutely. Yes, you should search for English qualifications on our website. So you'll be able to see the short courses on there.
Okay. And the last one is about how easy or how difficult is to get a job once they finish the program, in this case, in the university.
Yes. So in New Zealand, we have a very low unemployment rate of around 4%, and there are key shortages in many jobs. So I was asked to come and do this job from the UK because they couldn't find someone to do it. So I came over for the career. So depending, of course, on the area that the student is graduating, there are lots of opportunities, and we're hearing a very high employment rate by our recent graduates as well. Bearing in mind that a lot of our master's programs are in business or engineering or in science, they can find employment relatively easy here. And as I mentioned as well, there is a wealth of support on campus to get them ready for the job market, whether it's in New Zealand or back in Colombia or anywhere they want to go. But at the moment, it's particularly strong. And I know a lot of countries are dealing with, cost of living and everything, but in general, we're still doing relatively well in New Zealand.
Okay. So that's it for the session. Thanks again, Simon, for the information, for answering all the questions. I don't know if you
Thank
have
you.
like a final message or advice for the students.
Hopefully you found this informative, and it's given you an idea of Waikato and of New Zealand. Maybe you've not thought about it too much. We're hidden at the bottom of the world, and people often think of other countries, but it's a great place. It's safe, and you will get a world-class degree and qualification. But also, I mentioned earlier as well, I'm very excited to be coming to Colombia. So I'll be coming to visit Lady and people in COLFUTURO. And also, if you wanted me to grab a coffee or anything, then please reach out and I would be more than happy to meet you. So really excited to hopefully get more students from Colombia to come and join us.
Okay. So thanks everyone for being here. This is going to be the end of the session. We hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. So thanks,
Yes.
everyone, and see you back in Colombia.
Can't wait. Thank you, everyone.